Hello everyone, it's time for your weekly preview of this week's NFL football. And for this week and for upcoming weeks, I've prepared a new game and new ways how to just prepare you for these matchups. And I'm just going to try to put only 3 words to just sum it up what we should await. So with no further ado, let's start. So, Falcons versus Buccaneers, Amazon #1 show. I mean, yeah, we watched, I guess some of us did, finale of Lord of the Rings. I don't want to say Lord of the Rings because it really doesn't have a lot to do with Lord of the Rings, if we are honest. So Rings of Power had its finale today, and I'm still more excited about Thursday Night Football. And I would probably be more excited about any Thursday Night Football matchup, but this is actually a good one. So Falcons and Buccaneers, two teams that are kind of on different trajectories, because Falcons, they are underperforming. Cousins is just not there yet, and you can hope that he can emerge as the guy that they signed for 180 million for and use his weapons, because so far it's been the defense that's keeping them in the game. On the other side, Baker Mayfield absolutely cooking. He had one bad game, but out of 3 he was exceptional at. As of right now, I would probably put him over Kirk Cousins in terms of QB performance and QB quality. And for Falcons, who were like big favorites in this division, if they lose today against Bucks, which they are just 1-point favorites, so it's definitely not out of realm of possibility, they would be 2 games behind with already losing the division matchup to them. So huge game, huge stakes, and it should be a good one. Next one, the London game, Jets versus Vikings. To me, this can be summed up with biggest coaching mismatch. I mean, I like Robert Saleh as a person, but I mean, honestly, Jets defense is underperforming this season. Like, you have so much talent. I mean, Sauce Gardner is playing like random number 2 corner almost. Like, he's not been good this season. The D-line is not like creating anything. And it's like, this is supposed to be not like top 5 defense, and it's just not. And on the offensive side of the ball, like, who is offensive coordinator? Like, is it Nathaniel Hackett? Is it Aaron Rodgers? I guess when it's good, it's Aaron Rodgers. When it's bad, it's Nathaniel Hackett, right? It's just not good. Like, let's be honest, the offense has talent. Like, I don't think you can pinpoint it on the talent. Like, you have one of the best young wide receiver, best young running back in Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. You have an offensive line who, the question we had was like not if they are good, because they are. Question was health, and yeah, they lost Morgan Moses, but they had him for 3 games, and like O-line is playing well. So you have talent, you have Mike Williams as your number 2 wide receiver, that's really good quality, and you have your hand-picked Alan Lazard that you've paid because of Aaron Rodgers. So like, you cannot say there is lack of talent, and this offense just like, it has been good in 1 game against the Patriots. Okay. And on the other side, you have Kevin O'Connell, who is doing a masterful job with arguably what we thought was probably like bottom 3 starting QB in Sam Darnold, and he plays like a top 10 QB almost. And he doesn't have TJ Hawkinson still. He didn't have Jordan Addison for 2 games, so it's not like their offensive talent is just like overwhelming. Like, obviously they have Justin Jefferson, they are good, but they didn't have 2 of their best offensive players for a couple of weeks. And on the other side, Brian Flores, man, I mean, like, if his reputation was not, let's say, tarnished from his time in Miami, like, this dude has no business not being a head coach. And I think, like, sooner rather than later, he's going to get that job. So, to me, it's just a huge mismatch. And it's going to be a big game in London. I think London has a lot to learn, a lot to see in this one. And I am excited. Then we go towards Bears versus Panthers, and to me this game can be summed up with only 4 points. Really? I mean, Bears at home are just a 4 points favorite, and when you like are, let's say, into the betting or whatever, the saying is that the home field gives you about a 3-point advantage. So the bookies, the Vegas, the odds makers are saying the Bears are 1 point better team than the Panthers, and I'm like, how did we get there? How are we there? Because Panthers gave Bears just last season DJ Moore, pick that turn into number 1 pick in this draft and several other draft picks for a guy that they are not even playing in Bryce Young. And still, there is just a 4-point advantage or 4-point underdogs, and it's not like they don't have injuries. Like Derek Brown is out, like legit. In terms of injury bug, it's not that. It's not like the Bears are the Rams that they have half of the roster like on the IR. That's incredible, man. And I mean that says, and it's not like the Panthers are good. They're pretty bad. So it really tells you a lot about how much Bears are underperforming what we thought that they would be this season, especially that offense. And Shea Waldron, I mean, last game looked half decent against totally banged up Rams, but that's worrying. Like, if you tell me that Bears are just 1-point favorite on neutral field against Panthers, that's ugly, man. That's ugly. Let's go towards next one, and Baltimore Ravens are going to face Cincinnati Bengals at their home field. And to me, this game can be summed up with Burrow home underdog. I cannot remember last time when Burrow, like excluding his first season, but Burrow was a home dog. Like, that's insane, right? But it's absolutely reflecting this season because Bengals are playing bad. Like, that offense is good. But defense just cannot stop anybody. And Ravens, they just demolish Bills, which we thought that they are absolutely legit. So I understand that, but still, like Burrow as a home underdog, that's one for the history books. To me, Ravens, I like whoever watched my analysis preseason of this team, you knew how freaking excited I'm about how they put up this offense, and it just starts to show. Just run the goddamn ball with Derrick Henry, with the threat of Lamar, and it seems unstoppable as of right now. So I'm really excited, and Bengals will need to like roar and just put out their teeth out, because other than that, Ravens will just run them into the ground. Next one, Texans versus Bills. And to me, this is Allen digs deep. Because just last week, we heard some comments that, Josh Allen was like tuning down, like it's not the jab to Stephon Diggs when he says like, I like our new offense when anyone can eat. I mean, it was a dig at Stephon Diggs, right? I'm absolutely sure that the guy like Stephon Diggs is going to take it personally. And I'm pretty sure that Josh knew that this matchup is coming. So this is going to be super exciting to watch, because I think it's kind of a calculated thing for Josh to take this jab, because let's face it, Stephon Diggs is not the face of this offense, and he is not even the second face of this offense. Face of this offense is CJ Stroud, and the second one is Nick Collins. Like that guy, I mean, he is absolutely freaking awesome, and he might, like in next 3 games, if he performs as he does, I might have to put him into elite starter team, because he is just exceptional. Like he's playing like one of the top 3 wide receivers in the league right now. So if Diggs comes and like wants more attention, wants more ball, it's actually, I think it benefits the Bills. So I'm really excited about this matchup. And Bills coming from very tough loss. Texans last 2 weeks were kind of that defense not really humming. So let's see this one. It should be a lot of fireworks. Jags versus Colts. It's Dice Let's Dance, because I think if they lose to Colts, they need to fire Doug Peterson. I honestly thought they should have fired him like halfway through the game with the Bills. The team showed up. Like, I have to give them credit. They showed up against the Texans, but they like just like with the Dolphins. Like 2 games, it feels like they didn't show up, and 2 games, it's like they are a better team. They are in the lead. They should be putting the game into the bet, and they just shit the bet again. Again on the goal line, kind of, and it's really frustrating. Mostly, it's absolutely lack of anything in terms of their running game. They are atrocious at it. They cannot scheme it properly, and I think that falls on Dougie Peterson's hand. On the other side, will we see Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco? I mean, as of right now, Joe Flacco might even be a better option. But because yeah, it depends. Like if you just not need to screw up your game, Joe Flacco is probably the better option. So in this one, you are favorites, so it's probably more going to be towards Joe, but we will see. Patriots versus Dolphins. Is anybody watching? I mean, this is ugly game. This is absolutely ugly game. I mean, I'm not sure what I should be excited about. Like, one thing that I could get excited about is given the lack of pass rushers or their injuries for the Dolphins, this might be Drake May's first game. Or like he might enter the game like over halftime when Jacoby Brissett and the offense cannot do anything. And he might not get murdered behind this atrocious offensive line. So like that's one thing that might glue their seat, but I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like Patriots are who they are. Like we knew they were going to be a bad offense. Like they just don't have talent on the side of the ball. And in terms of defense, like half of their team is on IR, like really good players, and several were traded because they are collecting assets for upcoming years. And with Miami, like with Tua going down and several injuries on the defense, it's just bad. Like yeah. So is anybody watching? Commanders versus Browns. I mean, I have to do it. It's right versus wrong. Like on one side, everybody beloved Jaden Daniels, just taking care of everything, being that lifter of the franchise, this new hope for the Commanders that really didn't have hope for so many years. And on the other side, it's like, is there another lawsuit for Deshaun Watson? For what it's worth, he actually played really well last game, and he was being brought down by like his players, especially Amari Cooper, like not catching some of the balls, making stupid penalties. It's like, I mean, I'm not going to say it. Oh, okay, let's say it. Like it feels like they are just like fuck you, Deshaun, like or either bad or like what's going on. But it seems clear that there is something rotten within this organization, something rotten in this locker room. They just, I mean, they have talent, but I don't know, they don't fight for each other. They seem disconnected. The press is not good, and I mean, it's the Browns, right? So you can expect that. On the other side, like, what new will you show us, Jaden? So it's going to be exciting. I wouldn't put it like it's not a clear game win for the Commanders, right? It's like preseason, if you would measure these teams, like Browns has clear advantage in terms of quality and skilled players. Like there is no one like Myles Garrett on the Commanders roster. There is no one like Denzel Ward on the Commanders roster. I would argue that okay, Amari Cooper preseason, you would compare him to Terry McLaurin, right? So there's a lot of talent, and like it could hit the wall with Commanders today, but I don't accept it, and I think pretty much everyone that is neutral in this game is going to be rooting for the Commanders. Broncos versus Raiders. I have to handling the business. 2 weeks ago, Antonio Pierce kind of questioned some of the guys' like commitment to the game. Since then, Devontae Adams didn't play, hamstring. There's a lot of rumors. There's his destinations. And I would say it's like it was fun with like Pierce, and I was happy that he got the head coaching job. But he reminds me of a guy that is like famous in Czech football called František Straka, and he's famous for like coming to absolutely shitty situation and saving the team in the league. But pretty much everyone learned that giving him a full-time position just doesn't work. Like he's great for that several weeks to rally the troops and get like the mission done. But the concept of like growing it just seems not to be there. And maybe this is one like similar to Dan Campbell. You just need to pick up the roots before a flower can flourish. But it's Raiders. I don't think he's going to get time for that. So yeah, I mean they might lose their great players for under market value and not giving their coach time. And truth to be told, I'm not really sure that he will be the right guy to do it at this point. Like I hated some of his decision in game, like some of his punting in, I think it was week 2 was like, just fireball offenses. And yeah, it seems like he lost at least part of the locker room. On the other side, Broncos actually winning 2 games in a row. Was it pretty? No, especially not against Jets, but they handled the business. And if they win against Raiders, they are 3-2. Like somehow, some way, Broncos could be 3-2 and actually being in playoff contention. So that's that. 49ers against Cardinals, and to me this one is 49ers for 49. I would not put it past this offense to put up 49 points on this defense. Like, they just clearly lack talent on that side of the ball. Unfortunately, for the last 2 weeks, Kyler Murray and the offense cannot like be the savior every drive, so the defense is on the field much more than they were in like weeks 1, week 2. And they got 42 points at home from the Commanders. So, I mean, 49ers have much more firepower. So I would not put it past them to score 49 in this one. Though it could be fun one. With Kyle Murray, like I still like that offense. They need to play better. So if they want, this could be a big blowout. Rams versus Packers. Health is a key. I mean, Rams are so freaking banged up. Matthew Stafford is playing for his life pretty much every single game. They still managed to beat somehow 49ers, but they are 1-3. They are favorites to go down to be 1-4, so that means they're underdogs in this one. Jordan Love is back for what it's worth. He threw for 400 yards last week, though like he had some really ugly moments against the Vikings defense. It just feels like a mismatch, man. Like, yeah, okay. Like the one saving thing for the Rams is the defensive line for the Packers this year, despite the talent, was bad. Like, they cannot create pressure, they cannot create sacks. So, they need to put up or shut up, because this is one of the worst line you will face because of the injuries. And if you cannot generate pressure, Rashan Gary, I'm looking at you more specifically, this is bad. So, I mean, go for it, Matthew. I will be rooting for you, despite that you are a Ram, because it seems like a hero ball that he's running for his life pretty much every single play. But it's going to be hard. The next one, my Seahawks are facing the Giants. And to me, this is all about D-line. Please. This was hard to watch against Lions without our 4 best defensive linemen. That was insane. When you are facing the best offensive line in football, though they were missing Frank Ragnow, who is like top 3 center easily in the league, perhaps even the best one. It was just tough. Like, and we are still in the game. Like, kudos to the offense, kudos to Geno Smith. I will have to improve his rating to important starter, because he definitely deserves that. And yeah, let's face it, Tyler Lockett kind of down, not really playing it smart with offensive pass interference. And we might have won at Detroit, despite that lack of talent there. So we will see if several of those guys can be back, because yeah, it's really hard to play without our entire defensive line. But it should be enough for the Giants, right? For the Giants, I mean, they are a feisty team. They are definitely like not what they showed up in week 1, so that's good. And the question is, will my neighbors be back? Because if so, they might have a chance in this one. Steelers versus the Cowboys. And I would say, you better run. And yeah, let's face it, the D-line of the Cowboys is bad against the run. Everybody knows that, everybody tries to run on it. What does Steelers want to do? They want to run. They have Justin Fields, he wants to, yeah, you guessed it, he wants to run. And with Dallas actually missing their edge rushers, it might be tempted to throw the ball more. I'm like, no, please, no, don't do it. If so, put Russell Wilson in. I mean, Justin, for what it's worth, he's playing a really good ball, and even with throwing, like he's been good. But still, there is a recipe for how you beat these Cowboys teams. Don't just throw it away just because they don't have Micah Parsons, right? Like, use it as your advantage, because like he can defend the run, DeMarcus Lawrence as well. So use it as your advantage. For the Cowboys, I mean, if they win this game, and let's say if they win convincingly, they could be like back on the track to be actually a name and team to be counting on. But if they lose this one, this could be an ugly season for the Cowboys. So really big stakes, I would say, for both teams, because like Steelers do understand that if they want to win the division, the Ravens are going to be there. Bengals you expect to pick it up again, so they need to win. And for the Cowboys, like, okay, the division is rather easier than we expected in terms of Eagles being much worse, but the Commanders seems actually legit, so you need to start winning, man. And we are going to finish it with the Chiefs versus Saints. To me, this is tight, not wide. Obviously, referring to several injuries for the wide receivers for the Kansas City Chiefs. More specifically, Rashee Rice, that's been injured unfortunately by Patrick Mahomes last week, and Hollywood Brown. Both should be out probably for the whole season. That's a huge problem, and it requires Travis Kelce to step up. On the other side of the ball, we also have a tight end that I don't think he needs to step up. He's stepping up, but he's kind of an X factor for the team, and it's Taysom Hill, obviously. He can do pretty much anything. So this could be really like interesting duo of Travis Kelce having his best game this year, because they kind of have to focus offense to him, with also Pacheco injured. And on the other side, Taysom Hill being that Swiss Army knife, doing whatever he can to give this team an edge. It should be a fun Monday Night Football. Thank you very much for listening. Let me know how did you like my free word game, and see you with the next one. Bye bye.